This is a review of the Wyze Cam V4. In this video, we'll take a look at all the features that the Wyze Cam V4 has to offer, and we'll also take a look at the test footage to make sure that this is the right camera for you to pick up. Just to let you know that this video is not sponsored, so make sure you guys like and subscribe to help support this channel. Inside the box you have a quick start guide, 3M mounting tape, and also a metal disc for mounting, 6-foot flat micro USB cable. It also has mounting screws and plastic anchors, and the power adapter. The power adapter now is 5 volts and 1 amp. One really cool feature to note is that this camera only uses 1 amp of power, so that means that the V4 is actually compatible with the lamp socket. The Wyze Cam V4 now comes in white color, which is what it's always been for all the previous versions, but now it comes in a gray color as well, which I have here today. On the camera you have 2 spotlights, infrared LEDs, camera lens, mic, status lights, and on the back we have an upgraded speaker. The camera now has a matted finish. We still have the micro SD slot and the setup button in the same placements as previous versions of the Wyze Cam. The Wyze V4 camera now supports 512 gigabytes of SD storage, which now gives you the ability to support more than a day's worth of footage on your camera. No upgrade from a micro USB to a USB-C, it still uses the micro USB adapter. Taking a look at the Wyze Cam V4 next to the V3, the Wyze Cam V4 is a little bit taller and it's also a little bit heavier as well. The process of setting up will be a little bit different than the previous versions because what Wyze has done is added Bluetooth. To set up, download and open up the Wyze app, click on the plus sign, add device, cameras, Wyze Cam V4. Make sure your camera is connected and is flashing red. Click next and hit the setup button located at the bottom of the camera.
Ready to connect.
Then click begin setup and then hit allow Bluetooth access. And then once it's done searching for your device and it's done pairing, make sure you connect to your home network. And then just name your camera. To get all the features of the camera, like smart detection, cloud recording, and no delays from motion alert recording, you will need Cam Plus. I would recommend the monthly unlimited plan for $9.99, which gives you access to unlimited cameras, and it's only $10 a month. One last thing before you're actually all done is just updating your firmware. So go ahead and click that, and it's going to take 1 to 2 minutes. Then you're finally done. Now once it's done setting up, you should be able to see your camera and click into the camera. Now you should see a walkthrough for using the new interface for the Wyze Cam V4. Wyze has done a really good job with the new UI, but let me know what you guys think. Leave some comments below and let me know if you guys like the new interface of the Wyze Cam V4. Let's go over some of the features of the Wyze Cam V4. The V4 records in 2.5K resolution, which is 2560 by 1440 pixels. It records in 20 FPS in the daytime, as well as color night vision, and it records in 15 frames per second in the infrared night vision. The new V4 also has a spotlight built in, and it's 72 lumens bright. The camera now has a 98.5 horizontal and 53.1 vertical field of view. It has a new voice warning feature on motion. It sounds like this.
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
It has a smart focus feature which was pulled in from the V3 Pro, which basically just zooms in on motion detection. And just like any Wi-Fi camera out there, it records on motion detection and it also has 24/7 recording. But what's new about the V4 is that it supports up to 512 gigabytes of micro SD storage, which to me is a huge welcome upgrade. Just like the Wyze Cam V3, this camera is IP65 weather resistant, and it's compatible with Google Assistant and Amazon devices. For motion alert notifications, I get anywhere from 10 to 11 seconds. When you get the notification, you can click on it and you should be able to get the live view. And I find it loads up pretty quickly, faster than the V3. The max distance from the camera that I was getting a notification was 40 feet. The speaker quality isn't as good as I'd want it to be, although it is better than the V3. It still sounds really hollow, but it is a lot louder. You should have no issues hearing somebody about 10 feet away with these speakers. Thanks to the new speakers, the Siren does go pretty loud at 90 decibels. Just to let you guys know, this is the audio quality test of the Wyze Cam V4. Now let's take a look at the test footage. Here's a few shots of me walking back and forth in the daytime just to see what it looks like.
The daytime video footage does pop a little bit more than the V3 version. I will say that the video footage does look great outdoors, especially on a sunny day. I think the resolution bump does help, especially when you're cropping into footage and trying to get details out of that footage, but it's not a huge upgrade from the V3. Here's some footage from the front of my driveway. The 2.5K resolution bump does help to pick up license plate information, but anything further is not legible. The motion sensing on this camera is really good, and maybe a little too good. I really had to dial down the motion sensitivity on this camera. I have a lot of trees, bushes, and shrubs in my backyard, and it was constantly activating the motion notifications. I've also placed this camera at the back of my backyard, and I've had no issues with Wi-Fi connection, and that's probably due to the new support for Wi-Fi 6. Now let's take a look at some outdoor footage in the nighttime. This is what it looks like with color night vision on, but with no spotlight. You can see that it is pretty grainy, even though I have a lot of light bleeding in from my neighbor's backyard. And as I'm walking past it, there's a lot of ghosting that happens. You really lose a lot of details, especially when there's lots of motion. But as soon as the spotlight kicks in, you get a lot of details back, and the color night vision looks a lot better. I think that in order to use color night vision, you need to have the spotlight on. Just note that further back, when the spotlight doesn't reach, if you have a big backyard, obviously, you won't get a lot of details. It's still going to be grainy, it's still going to be blurry, and you're still going to have a lot of ghosting that's happening. But up close, it does do a pretty good job with picking up details. And also, I love that the spotlight is on the camera itself. It acts as a great deterrent against unwanted guests. Depending on how much light you have coming into your camera in the nighttime, color night vision might be suitable for you. But for me, my preference would be to have IR lights on. You definitely get a lot more details with the IR lights on, and it's not as finicky. To me, this is just a no-hassle night vision that works well with the spotlight. You can see here with the IR lights on, even up close, I'm not losing a lot of details from my face, and this is with the spotlights on high as well. So this would be my recommendation, to just have IR lights for your night vision. But again, it could be really beneficial for you to test it out and see if the color night vision works for you. Here's some indoor footage in the daytime. This is where I think the camera really excels. I really love using this camera just to keep an eye on the house and or as a puppy camera. It picks up a lot of details, and I really have no issues with it when it's indoors. I really think that this camera is amazing for indoor security. Here we have some nighttime footage with IR lights on, and then spotlight activation happens and it moves into color night vision. And you can see that indoors, I'm picking up so much detail with the color night vision on. Here's what it looks like with color night vision on, but without the spotlights. If you don't have a lot of light bleeding into the camera, then the color night vision is pretty much useless. Well, what do I think about the Wyze Cam V4? Well, I think that these cameras are amazing cameras to pick up, especially if you don't have any home security right now. These cameras are packed with features that are usually at least double the price of the Wyze Cam V4. As you can tell from this footage, this camera has amazing quality, especially at this price point. These cameras work great outdoors and indoors, but I think where it really shines is indoors. But it has an amazing spotlight that works great outdoors and is a great deterrent to any unwanted guests. I think there's a lot of great small iterations when it comes to this camera from the V3, so I don't necessarily think you need to upgrade from the V3 to the V4, but if you're looking for something that has more storage space, which the V4 does have, it has upgraded support of 512 gigabytes of SD storage. So would I recommend you picking up the Wyze Cam V4? Absolutely, especially if you don't have any home security currently. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who you think that this might be helpful for.